In this video, I show you how I process the drums in my track You'll Love that was released on Repopulate Mars. I show you how I process the kick, hi-hats, claps, and that all-important drum bus to get a punchy drum mix. Check it out. So let's bring up A, B, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where we was before. B is before, and when I click to A, that's going to be the end result, and I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve this. Let's start on B. So as you can see, a huge difference to the drums. So let me just show you what I've got. In this session, I've simplified it, so there's nothing around it. We've got the rest of the track here, but we've essentially just got the drums and the bass. I always like to listen to the drums in context with the bass as well. But here we've got the drums, we've got the kick in red, we've got a hat section, we've got open hats, 2 open hats, 1 fast hat, a ride, a top loop and a clap, 2 top loops and a clap. I've got the hats in a bus, and I've got all the drums going into a bus as well. We can talk about this after. So what I'll do, I'm going to remove all the processing. Okay, now with the processing removed, let's hear where we're at. And just to prove we're in the same place, or A, B it again. Cool. As you can hear, drums are in the same place. So let's start with the kick. Firstly, I solo the kick. This is a sample here. I'm using the gain now just to turn down the kick. Now, the real beauty here is the Neutron. Let me turn this on and off so you can hear what's going on. So I'm using Neutron 3 Transient Shaper to really control this kick. I've set it up with 3 bands. I've got one set at 325, one at 6K, and then I'm pulling down the mid-range. So essentially, on this band here, I'm just pulling down to sustain, and that's tightening up the mid-range of the kick. And then on the low-end band, I'm utilizing the attack, and I'm accentuating the low end on it. Check this. Result. Really cleans up the kick. Next, I've got an EQ on this, and we'll talk about this when we talk about the bass. Let's go to the hats now. So I've got a hat bus, but let's go into the separate hats. I've got an open hat here. In this, I'm removing some low end. Then I'm adding some width to the hat using Ozone Imager and Valhalla Room. I just felt like this hat needed a bit of reverb. Let's go to the next hat. Okay, next hat. We've got, let's listen to it solo. Removing the low end out of it. Right, now, the beauty of this is the transient designer on the open hat. Check it. So I'm using the Oxford Envolution to really pull up the transients of the hat. I'm doing a hold. I'm using the attack and sustain. The result is really big on open hats. Really love using this on open hats. Let's check this so far. Next, we've got fast hats. In this, I'm just removing a bit of this top end information out of the hats. And I've got a side chainer on it. See how that's really dancing with the kick now. Next, I've got a ride. Okay, so as you can see, the ride's quite messy. So some EQ, we're doing Q3, removing the low end out of that. I'm widening this again. This is interesting. So I've set up the band at 10K to widen this part of the signal, but in the real top end, I'm making that mono by pulling this down. Check this. This is really noticeable. Let's hear this in the mix with everything. So, and I'm going to turn the imager on and off. Really listen to the ride. Okay, next we've got top loop. Adding sample delay to this, just to give it some width and some multi-band compression using the Pro-MB to control this part of the signal, because it's got a hat in it, you know, and we've got our hat sorted already. Okay, next top loop, what we got? Okay, got a top loop in here. You guys would probably use top loops. In this, I'm just removing the low end of this and the MB to control this part of the signal again. Lastly, clap. Good clap sound. A bit of imaging. And then I'm using UAD Pure Plate for reverb. Okay. Sounding cool. Let's hear where we was before by those techniques. So as you can hear, huge difference. Now finally onto the drum bus. In this I've got a Simplon, a Q3 standard clip and a gain. Simplon is for filtering in the breakdown, so we won't talk about that. Q3, let's look at this. So I'm utilising the Q3 in the whole drum bus. Let me just turn it on and off so you can hear what's going on. Okay, so firstly, I'm utilising this band here. So that's really bringing out the mid-range, so the open hat and the clap. Check what it does to it. It really brings it to life. And this is not the same as turning up the clap. This is expanding it in a really musical way. Followed by some resonance suppression here. So these are points that I've swept along using the Q3 like this. And I've found in the really resonant points. So there's one here, check it. Another one here. Another one here. Not too many in this one actually. So then I've turned these onto dynamic, like so. And that pulls down the frequencies. Check this when I turn this on and off now. Try listen to the resonances. Okay, the next thing I've got on this drum bus is standard clip. Now this is doing a lot. I'm going to play this with the bass. I'm going to turn this on and off now. So you can hear it's a real key part of the drum mix. So I've been utilizing this on a drum bus a lot, and this is a really great way to get loud, punchy drums that also give space to your master chain. Now what we're using is a standard clip, and this is a clipping tool essentially. So by pulling down the clipper, you can see the transients down here. We're clipping off some of the harsh transients. Let's go to where it was. And then what we're going to do is you're using the soft clip saturator on Soft Clip Pro, and this really brings it to life. Now, for some styles, you can go quite heavy-handed with this. Check this. And it works on some techno styles, or if you're trying to do more of a raw analog sound, I like to utilize it in a heavier fashion. But on this, about 13 to 14% works nicely. And then I've just got a gain on here, and I'm using that to turn it down. Let's have a listen again, once again, everything. I turn off just standard clip. You can hear how it brings the drums up in the mix and also distorts and creates. You can hear how it brings the drums up in the mix. Oh, okay, start of it. You can hear how it really brings the drums together in this mix. Let me remove the EQ and the standard clip now so you can hear. So some simple but effective processes I use all the time to get my drums to work in the mix, to get signed to labels like Repopulate Mars. Check out more of our videos.